Hi guys, welcome back to another GGA video review. Today I'll be checking out this brand new series of cases from Cooler Master. As you can see, it's the HAF Stacker. So today I'll be reviewing the 915F and the 935. If you're not familiar with these, this is this brand new stacking design from Cooler Master. If we just come in and have a look at the screen here, it looks like a pretty epic system. I haven't seen anything like this before. So you can see by the photos, you get your two smaller systems. So you've got simply your 915F and R. The difference is the F is front mounted PSU and the R is rear mounted PSU. And these little ones are either for storage, radiators, or you can put a complete little system in one of these. I've got one to show you in the box, which we can have a look at. The next one is you get the 935, and that comes with a 915R already stacked on top. So I've got one of those as well to show you. And then moving along, you can actually stack the two of them together, or you can actually just keep on stacking as many of them as you like. So you could do 6 high, whatever you like. And if you move over here a little bit more, we can see them in action. So as you can see, you've got a system in here, your workstation, and then you could have your gaming box up the top, and then you just simply slide it off the rails. I'll go through all that later on, and you can just take this little gaming box to the LANs with you. And we've got another one up the top. So this is called the Ultra Tower 945. I'll also be demonstrating this as well later on. You can stack two of the 915s, top and bottom, and then your large one in the middle. And then we've got, for a more ridiculous system, if you've got like a render farm or 3 gaming rigs, you can stack all 3 or as many as you like. So pretty unique system here, something never done before. We'll have a look at the 915F. We'll just come in and have a look at some of the specs on it. I won't spend too much time on this because I really want to get in and start going over the actual gear itself. So materials, steel body, dimensions, 228 by 248 by 570 millimeters. This is actually quite a really small system. You'll see that once it comes out. It's 5 kilos once it's all up, 5 kilos. Motherboard type is Mini ITX. It's got 1 CD-ROM bay, 3 hard drives for your 3.5 inch, 3 SSDs. I'll actually go into that later on because I don't think you can use all of those at once. Once you put the power supply in, you sort of lose some of those. Your I/O panel has your 2 USB 3, which is really cool to see, and your audio in and out, and your expansion slots is just 2, mainly because this is a really small case. And there's all your fan options there. So if you just hover over that, I won't call them all out. You'll be able to see those once I open it all up. Alright, moving on to the back. Alright, so that's sort of what it looks like from the front. I won't spend too much time on this. I'd rather show you it in for real. So you've got this little SSD mounting for hard drive and SSDs, which is sort of in smack bam in the middle. You've got your RAW system for stacking other ones. It's really good how it comes with dust filters on each side panel. And then moving over to the right one, it's got thumb screws, which they're actually captive. You don't actually lose them. You unscrew them to a certain point, and then they stay in, and you can slide the side panel off. And then you just got a 120 mm fan in the rear. All right, so that's pretty much it for that one. We'll move over to the larger one. So this is the 935. So if you can get that one in the shop. So pretty much the same body dimensions. This one is quite a lot larger. It's 235 wide. 719 high and 578 I believe in depth. Net weight is 15 kilos, so by the time you add this one and you add a 915, you're going to be looking at 20 kilos just in empty cases. Motherboard type is eATX, ATX and micro ATX, so this will support everything. The 915 will only support your micro and below. Alright, your CD-ROM bays, it's got 3. And then if you add the existing 915 up the top, that makes it an additional one. For your hard drive bays, 3 and a 5 inch, you've got 6 in your main system, and then it comes with a removable cage in the 915R up the top to give you 3. So that's 9, and these are all modular. So you can move all of these 3 cages into, say, the bottom case, into whichever case you want. I'll go through that later on. And then for your SSDs, you can convert all the hard drive trays into SSD trays, so they can fit both. For your I/O, the same as the 915, or actually is the same as the 915, plus you get 2 USB 2 as well as the 2 USB 3 and audio in and out. Expansion slots, you get your standard 8, and you get what Cooler Master do is they give you the extra one on the side. I'll show you that, and then you get 2 in the 915R. So this is pretty much everything you get in the larger case, and plus it's got the 915 as well on top. And as it's got here maximum fan support, we'll just hover over all of those and we can show you how much you can fit. You can actually fit a ton of radiators in this system, because you can fit dual radiators up the top in the 915, and you can do a push-pull fan configuration on each one. And then we've also got the window side panel included, and I believe this is a tinted side panel which looks really good. Alright, we'll just have a quick look on the back. Alright, so we have removable modular I/O, so that's pretty much to show you this is a stacking system. Every mesh area is filtered, which is really good to see. Alright, you can do two power supplies, one at the top, one in the bottom of this unit. Moving over, that's your radiator support, so I can fit two 360mm at the top, or two 280s, which is really good. You can have that in push-pull configuration, and if you're adding another 915 at the bottom, you can have exactly the same thing. So you can fit four radiators top and bottom, and you can also add a 280 up the top, sorry, in the middle, or probably a 240, I think, in there for the two 120mm fans. Alright, moving over to the right a bit more, that's that extra expansion slot. So if you've got something that doesn't need to go in a slot, like an external RAID port that's just running SAS out to the back, you can use that. It's got the same thumb screws as the other one, and then it's got these removable feet, which I'll show you that that if you're stacking two on top of each other, you remove the feet and you put them on the very bottom unit, and they're really nice large feet for plenty of airflow. Alright, that's pretty much it for that. What I'll do now is I'll get these out of the box. I won't do an unboxing because they're absolutely humongous. I'll just get them out, get them on the table, and we'll have a look what's inside them. Alright guys, we've got the 915F for front mounted power supply here. We'll just go over this one first before we cover the other one. As you can see, I've already fitted a radiator just in the side, just to show you how this looks. I've also taken the screws off just to make it easier to undo and make it a bit faster. If you actually have a look at the screws, you just simply, in these little holes here, and then a screw just goes in like that, and there's four of those, and that's how you actually secure the stacking in. I'll show that later on when it slides. Alright, so the top section is just like that, your nice honeycomb underneath with the mesh on top, and it actually does have a really fine filter on there, which is really good. So that's the top there. So moving on to it more, if you actually have a look in the top, I've actually got a humongous radiator in here. I think this is a bit over 60mm wide, and if you added another one, you would probably get it to fit, but you just be an issue getting the barbs in there. But this just goes to show how thick of a radiator you can have with double fans on it. So I've actually got that mounted to the side panel, so once I take this out, the radiator will come out as well, and then that just simply goes on the side panel as well. So if we actually get a shot of that, you can see how simple it goes on, just like that. And then it just screws. There's tons of holes here, so you've got your 280 design, your 360 design, tons of holes. And this does have a mesh filter on here, but I just took it off before to just to mount this. But I'll show you the mesh filter on the other unit when I go over it. Alright, so that's those two bits. Okay, moving on to the case itself. So you can see the cable that runs the power supply, which just hangs down here. So that connects into the power supply. The power supply sits in the front. I've actually got one here to show you how it mounts. So the power supply just connects in like this, it mounts like that, and then it just screws in like that, and you can either have it that way or flip it around the other way depending on how you like it. And that's how that fits, and then all your cables come out. And we'll just undo this little accessories box. We'll just actually see what we've got in here. Right, so in here we just got, if we can just have a look without taking them out, just got your standard zip ties, your screws, rubber washers for mounting the power supplies, mounting the hard drives. I'll actually mount a hard drive in the second unit, show you how they go in. They actually go in really easy. Alright, so that's those little bits. Moving back over to the case, we'll just have a look at all the front panel connectors. So we'll just get that over to the red area. So first thing we notice, they're all black. your power reset and all that, all really nice black connectors, which is good. HD audio and your AC97 audio are your standard ones, and there's your USB 3.0 there, which is really nice and long, so you'll definitely be able to get them to reach. We'll just have a look at the actual front a little bit more once we're on that. So the buttons are really nice, sort of a slight push one. It's not like your spring-loaded push in and push out. And then to get this off, you just simply open these two clips up on each side. We'll just take that off here, pretty much like most cases these days. And then there's just another one on the back, and then that just comes out like so. And then once again, that's got mesh filter as well, really nice. And then this just clips out like that if you want to install a CD-ROM drive. So they're actually really nice feel, and they feel made really nice as well. Alright, moving back into the case a bit more. So here's your SSD mount, which is mentioned before, up the back here. So you can mount an SSD or a standard hard drive up the top there. It might be a bit hard to see, but you can just see that in there. Moving down below, you can also mount your hard drive and SSD in the bottom there as well, which also saves on some room. And I've also removed something out of this because I had to fit the radiator. You actually get this, which gets mounted up the top. So that actually comes like that, installed up the top. So that allows you to fit your CD-ROM or another hard drive or SSD up the top. And then that's got your standard Cooler Master quick release like that. So I just removed that because you will need to remove this if you want to use this as a radiator box or something like that. Last thing with this, we'll just cover a bit more towards the back. Alright, so when you're fitting your motherboard in here, I don't have any motherboard extensions on it, but you can get a rough idea on how that would go like that. And then your 2-slot video card or single slot video card will just run along. And that's pretty much it. So to make a neat little gaming box, if you're after one, and then you just got your standard 120mm fan on the back there, and that's just the connector for it there. So you get your both standard 3-pin fan connector, or it converts it to your Molex, which is pretty good that it comes with that. And then moving on to the back, you've just got your extender, which extends your power supply from all the way to the front all the way to the rear. And then you've just got your other side panel, which is exactly the same as the other one, and you can put a radiator on there as well, which is pretty cool. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this little unit. What I'll do now is I'll move over to the larger one, and we'll cover that one. Alright, so now we've got the 935 hooked up here. First thing you can see, it's got this really nice clear protective film on it. I'll just pull that off. It's a bit noisy. That's the one side. Alright, now that that's done, we'll just have a look at the actual tint. So you can see it's a really nice tint. You can't quite see inside all the way, but it does look really nice. Once you get some lights on in there, it feels like a really nice, high quality clear panel, which is good. Alright, moving on to more of it. We'll just go in and have a look in this little accessories box. Now I think you get some more accessories than in the last, in the other case you get. Right, so first thing we notice is this SATA extension cable. I assume they give you this. That's probably just under 1 meter long, or probably is 1 meter long. They give you this so when you're running up the top, so if you're running 3 drives in here, you can comfortably run this all the way down. That's actually pretty sweet that they give you that. Most other cases probably wouldn't. I guess if you're a modder, it's a bonus, but for most people who are going to deck the system out, they'd probably be redoing the whole wiring themselves to suit their needs. Alright, so that's that. Also, we get that. That is a blank I/O shield. So, if we have a look at the top, if you're not running a system up the top, so you say you're running hard drives or a radiator system in here, you can just run that, stick that in from the other side, and that just blanks that off there. So once again, if you're a modder, you could paint that whatever color you want to blend it in. Also moving on, you also get a same sort of similar device. It's a blanking plate for the power supply cover, just to blank that off as well, and that'll just match the bottom there to close those up. And then moving on to the other bits, it seems to be pretty much exactly the same as all your other bits you get, and the same as the other packet you just saw before. Alright, moving on inside of the system, we'll just have a look at the I/O cables we've got here. So if we have a look, pretty much exactly the same before. Your standard black power reset button and all those, your HD audio, AC audio, your USB 2, which is an additional one than the other one, and your USB 3. So they're really long, like they're coming through now, and your motherboard's only going to come to there, so tons of room to run that. We'll just mount a power supply. This is pretty much a standard size power supply. We'll just see how well that goes in. So that fits in there nicely, just like that. That's also ventilated. You can see you got a nice. Once again, seems like Cooler Master have really done well with all these filtered. These mesh filters for all the fan areas, which is really good to see. So dust getting into this system will be virtually impossible. You can also see down the bottom here we've got these two massive grommet holes. Now most systems won't have this on the bottom, but if you're stacking this on a 915, it's a little bit hard to see there, but if you're stacking that on a 915, these will be pass-through holes to go into the other case. So once I hook all these up and get all the three together, I'll just show you all the pass-through holes and how to hook everything in. I'll just have a look at one of the hard drive caddies. Now these are one of the hard drive caddies I really like with Cooler Master. You don't need to do any bending or anything like that. What you simply do is on the other side, you just push this down, push it up from this side, you open it up, you just slot your hard drive in the holes like that, and then you just push it together, and then it just clips in just like that, and that's in. You can secure it if you want, but you don't really have to, and then that just simply goes in up the top and then slides in just like that, and then you're done. So really simple design. It works well. And then these also support SSDs underneath with the holes as well for SSDs mounting, so that's also good to see. Moving up the top, you've got your standard lock and open for your CD-ROM bays if you've got a reservoir up there and things like that. As I said before, it supports your standard ATX, eATX, all of those. It won't support it probably would support HPTX if you wanted it to, but most people probably don't run those anymore because there is a massive amount of room in there. Moving on to the back a bit, it's got your 8 slots, and it has also got this extra one on the side, which I mentioned before if you're running something else into there. It's got external water cooling ports. You're probably not really going to use these, I guess. Looks like it's got 1/2 inch and 3/8 inch if you're running them. Most of you will be running your system's water cooling in the top of the bottom, so you can just pass it through the grommets that are already there. Alright, just moving forward to the front of it. I won't take off this front, it's exactly the same as the other one. It's got the mesh filter on there as well, really nice mesh going all the way from the top to bottom, and you got your 1, 2, 3 CD-ROM bays, and there's all your standard ports, so your 2 USB 2s, 2 USB 3.0s, your headphones, your mic, and then your power button there. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this one. What we'll do now is we'll show you the stacking system, and we'll show you the top of the 91F. Moving on to the top area now. So this is the 915. This one you get isn't a 915F or R. It's it doesn't come with the front ports, so it's not really designed to be used as a standalone system. This one's more to be used with your hard drives or radiators, hence why it comes with your blanking plates on the back, so you can cover them up and use it for hard drives and that. So I've already fitted some fans on the side, as you can see. We'll just slide this off. So I've got 3 Cooler Master fans on there, and you can see I've got 9 hard drives fitted in there. So what I've done is I've taken the 2 hard drive caddies from down below there, as you can see. While we're on this bit, you can remove this little lower section out, and you can also fit a 240mm radiator there as well, which is really good. So with this top area here, what I had to do is to get your 9 hard drives to fit as well as having fans on it, because the only stock cooling you get is a little 180mm at the front, and that's probably not going to be enough to do all these fans. So what I had to do is I had to flip the hard drive cages around, so you feed the hard drives from the back. I'll get around to that now. So you feed the hard drives from the back, and then you run the cables in from the back as well. So that's not a huge issue because they're not really hot swap anyway. So you have to come around the back anyway to unplug them. It's just that now to take them out, you just have to slide out the drive that way instead of the front, which is no big deal. But that now allows you to add some pretty sweet fans on the front. You can blow it from one side to the other, and we'll just take the top off. And then you've got a nice support up the top, so you can see how much room you've got in there. You could easily mod a second radiator up the top. You can't really add one on the top like this because it doesn't actually have any mounting. But no doubt if you're a modder, you could definitely add a radiator up the top as well. And you can also see there's much more room than just 9 hard drives. So if you're a modder, you could make your own cages, and I reckon you could comfortably fit about 15 hard drives up the top there as well. What we'll do now is we'll show the stacking system. I'll be meaning to get onto that. First of all, you just got to take the feet. If you are stacking something under the current system that's got feet on, you just have to undo this screw, 2 on the back or on the other side. You slide these rails off, and then you put the stacking unit underneath and slide it on. So what I'll do is I'll get that ready now, and we'll stack this on this double unit on top of a 915. So these are the 2 feet that come off. Really sturdy, nice rubber padding on those, so you want to keep these handy. So if you use all 3 systems, you'll have a set of these left over, so you can put them to one side. Alright, so I've got the 915F ready to get the 935 stacked on top. I'll just do that now. So what you do is you simply just place it on top of the rail system. You place it about this far on top, and then it just drops in and then slides along, so you can see the guides it has there anyway. I'll just slide this on top. So just like that. It is a little bit harder doing it with gear in it, but it's probably advised to do it empty. And then once it's in like that, just slide it, just like that. And now I'm just going to put 1 screw in the side here, just like that, just to hold it in, and that's it. And it actually locks in, so it doesn't really come off. That just stops it from sliding. And then you put another one on the back side, and then 2 on the other side, and that's pretty much it. So I'll just lift this back up on the table. Alright, it is actually quite heavy once you get 9 drives in it, and the motherboard, that's probably nearly 30 kilos. So alright, so that's it there. I'm just going to get a tape measure, and we'll do some measurements. So I have taken the hard drive mount out, as you can see here. We'll just get some light on there. So with the hard drive mount out, pretty much your video card options is just endless. There's no point in me measuring that. With the rail in, you're looking at about 35 centimeters, 350 mil. So you fit any video card in there at the moment, which is no issue at all. We'll just take the side panel off, and we'll check out the motherboard spacing. That on the ground. Alright, so if we can get a shot sort of maybe along the side, we'll see what we got. It actually does look very, very narrow. So as you can see, we've probably got like probably 1.5 centimeters just. So about 15 millimeters along the back, which isn't very much at all, but I guess you get a lot of room along the back, so you got plenty of room. And I recommend using a Cooler Master power supply with this system, because all the cables are flat like this. I just recently reviewed one, and every cable you get, bar the 24 pin, they're all flat, so you'll have no issues running all the flat cables. Even the EPS 8 pin is flat. Also, just another thing on the back, you've got an SSD mount, which is pretty sweet. I just noticed that then. So you can actually add an extra SSD. But if you're like me, I like to put my SSDs on show, so people can see them, and they also look pretty cool. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just show you the cable management holes you run things through, and then I'll just do another config on how you can stack these. So if you're going to buy this system, you're probably going to stack it like this. I'll show you another config that you may stack it. So you've got your 2 holes here. So what you do is you pass all your cables down here and whatnot. So if you've got more hard drives or radiators down this one. This is where you pass your water cooling tubes and whatnot through there, and then this bottom hole you wouldn't be using. The only issue up the top, if you've lost this this large hole up the top, you can see that grommet hole, which is the same one down the bottom. You actually have to use these holes in between, which still isn't too bad. You still get plenty of cable management holes there, which is still fine. And then you still got tons of grommets along the side, which is really good, and they're not falling out. They feel really sturdy, which is good. And then I'll just grab my power supply, so you can run your system with the power supply right down the bottom if you want. Actually, sorry, this is the front mounted one, so you can run your power supply down the bottom like that. It actually gets flipped around the other side, but that's just an example. And you can run your system off that. It might be a bit of a stretch to get everything into reach, but you get the R version and run your power supply on the back, and you can keep this completely free for other things, but most of you will run your power supply up the top like this, and then you've got tons of room for everything else. So I'll just do a full measurement on the full system. If you want to try and stand back a bit. So that's a 900 mark there. So you're looking at say 950 for the whole lot. So you're looking at nearly a meter for this full system. So it's going to be a beast, but the functionality and the flexibility you can do with this, and you're looking at about 550 wide and about 230 wide that way, and you're looking at 560 or 550 in depth. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this config. I'll just do one more config, and that's pretty much going to be it for this review. Alright, so here's another config you can do. I've got your radiator sort of going to be in the middle, and your hard drives are going to be at the top. So I'll just stack this one on. This one's going to be a little bit heavier because it is currently full of hard drives. So that just stacks on there. Slide it on just like that. So I'll just take the panels off. Okay, so that's the top unit there, and then you've got the radiator unit there. So the reason I did that is so you can still run your water cooling tubes through. So if you've got a water cooled chipset, CPU, your video cards, they can still comfortably go at the top. Whereas if you had your radiator right at the top, you've actually lost a lot of your holes due to the hard drives. So it's probably best to keep your hard drives at the very top or the very bottom, and then you have your radiator in the middle of each one, so you can fit them through like that. Alright, so I think I've covered everything on this system. As you can see, pretty much like unlimited things you can do. You can just pretty much have the three like this. You can just have this one. You can have the little one as your gaming box. You can have a complete system in each one. You could have up to 3 systems in this whole unit. Just the possibilities are crazy, and as you can see, you can fit plenty of radiators, a ton of fans, and plenty of hard drives. So I think this retails, the 915F or R retails for about $90 to $99 each, and I believe this the 935 is somewhere around the $200 mark. So for around $300 you can get this complete massive beast of a system, and you can just build sort of whatever you want, and you pretty much won't be limited on space or what you can fit in. So I just want to say thanks for Cooler Master for sending me this and letting me review it, and thanks for watching. And just one note before I leave, I'm going to be decking this out, this whole system, and this is going to be on display at the next GGF event. So if you're interested in having a look, seeing what this case can do and seeing it in real life with a real system in it, I'm going to have reservoirs, radiators, you name it. It's going to be chockers. So come down, head along. The next event is on February 15, so come along. Our website's all in the details. Come along and check it out. But once again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time.